Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Burning Questions. Today I have, what's your name?
Mario.
Mario. And today we're going to be asking a couple questions about mental health while eating some hot wings, and hopefully we'll enjoy this. All right?
All good.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
So what is mental health to you?
So mental health, to me, is basically somebody's mental wellness, right?
Yep.
It can range from an individual not being able to, say, have some control over it. They may suffer from certain issues or whatever it may be, dealt with certain things. But we all have our mental health, right? Every day, right? Our mind is our governor, right?
Yeah.
It's got control, and if we don't control it, right, it'll take over us. So I think it's always in everybody's best capability to try to keep it healthy, and nobody ever does all the time, right? Because that's just life. We deal with things that sometimes overtake us, overwhelm us, and that's fine.
Yeah,
It's good. You have to have resources to. Everybody's got problems.
That's a great answer. All right, we're moving on to round 2, which is the extra hot.
Gonna go easy on the last one, just letting you guys know.
Why is it important to talk about mental health?
One is that, like I mentioned earlier, everybody's got problems, right?
Yeah.
So, for an individual, for us to be open about it, it helps us to deal with those problems, right? And then
Yep.
you realize too that you're not the only one that's going through things or has gone through things. So I think when we're open about it with mental health and anything else, it helps us deal with it and understand it with our best abilities and get through it.
This one's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, really fun. Can't wait. It's good.
Yeah. Our next question: how do you respond to emergency situations where mental health variables are influencing the person's behavior?
So there's a lot of different perspectives with that, right? And in our job in police work, a lot of different variables will dictate how we deal with those situations, right? If it's a parent calling because their teenager is just having a mental breakdown type of thing, we can just go in and deal with it and try to understand things, see if they need help, whatever it is. And unfortunately, we deal with from the really kind of easy aspect of it to the violent aspect of it. And I've dealt with all of them, with individuals holding weapons to themselves and things like that. I've learned to try to be patient and try to understand them and their story as much as you can. And obviously, our priority is always to keep that individual safe as well as everybody else. We try to use all of our tools, right, to try to amend that situation, the best that we can for the outcome of everybody, right?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for your insight. We are going to our last sauce now, which is Dave's insanity. All right.
Smokes.
You want to do it on a count of 3?
Yeah, I'm just going easy. Then I'll venture.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, I can taste it's already different. And I just got a little bit on there.
Just a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's burning.
For our last question.
Oh yeah, that's. Yeah.
For our last question, do you find that people who act out at school have a poor relationship with their mental health?
No, I don't think it's necessarily a poor relationship. Here's the thing: is that students are young, right? And you guys are young. So you're just meaning to understand, yourselves and lives, right? So you're in the learning stages, and I think that's why it's important to be open with it, right? So that you can reach out to those individuals that will help you to understand it, right? So that when you're young, dealing with anything, if you start to understand it, right, as you get older, you can have a better understanding and hold on to it, right?
Yeah.
And deal with it versus ignoring it, right, and just kind of pushing it aside. The older we get and tend to ignore things, it just compiles. So that means that if we decide to deal with it 5 or 10 years down the road, we have to peel a lot more layers back to get to the core issue. So I think it's important to deal with it, and I don't think it's necessarily a poor relationship. If the only way I can see it if it's poor is if they don't want to deal with it, and if they don't have that support to help them understand it and break them down a little bit to let them know that, you've got something going on, and there's nothing wrong with that, and help you to deal with that. So,
do you have any final thoughts before we end the interview?
I think it's very good that you guys are doing this. I appreciate you guys bringing me on board. Obviously, I've dealt with different situations and scenarios that some of the other people are partaking in it. So I appreciate you guys bringing me on board. And it's important for everybody. It affects you if you don't deal with it. So I think it needs to be recognized in everywhere, that somehow, some shape or form, we can't just really be macho about it,
Yep.
right? Because it's, once again, you ignore it, and it just becomes harder to deal with it later on. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for bringing me on board.
Thank you for coming out here.
Thanks.
It was a good interview. Wonderful wings. I didn't die.
No, it was
we both didn't die.
tolerable.
All right.
Tolerable.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And we're done.